Yeah, my name is Jonathan Benton. As you can see, I'm back here to continue with our Bible reading of the day. And I don't know how it's been where y'all been. The weather's been pretty nice around here. I don't know how it's been where y'all been, but it's been pretty nice around here. Uh, but that's not going to stop us from reading the Word. No, 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 no. We're going to continue on with doing that. We're going to continue on where we left off in Genesis. Genesis 31. This is after Laban tried to pull another trick on Jacob, but it didn't work. He tried to remove all the speckled and spotted sheep out of the flock, but Jacob he put rods in front of the feet in the water trough where they drank, and they that caused them all to be speckled and spotted when they mated. And as also we read about the birth of the next few sons that he had, and he still got one more son left, but he won't be born until Genesis 35. But Genesis 31. And this is where Jacob starts returning back to his homeland and the promised land, starts making his way back home. Genesis 31. And he heard the words of Laban's sons, saying, Jacob hath taken away all that was our father's, and of that which was our father's hath he gotten all his glory. And Jacob beheld the countenance of Laban, and behold, it was not toward him as before. And the Lord said unto Jacob, Return unto the land of thy fathers, and to thy kindred, and I will be with thee. And Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah and to the field unto his flock, and said unto them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not toward me as before, but the God of my father hath been with me. And ye know that with all my power I have served our father. I have served your father, and your father hath deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, but God suffered him not to hurt me. If he said thus, the speckled shall be thy wages, then all the cattle bear speckled. And if he said thus, the ring straight shall be thy hire, then all the cattle bear ring straight. Then bear all the cattle ring straight. Thus God hath taken away the cattle of your father and given them to me. And it came to pass at the time that the cattle conceived, that I lifted up mine eyes and saw in a dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the cattle were ring straight, speckled, and gristed. And the angel of God spake unto me in a dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here am I. And he said, Lift up now thine eyes, and see all the rams which leap upon the cattle are ring straight, speckled, and glistered. For I have seen all that Laban hath doeth unto thee, and I am the God of Bethel, where thou anointest the pillar, and where thou vowedest a vow unto me. Now arise, get thee out from this land, and return unto the land of thy kindred. And Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, Is there yet any portion of inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted to him strangers? For he hath sold us, and hath quite devoured also our money. For the riches which God hath taken from our father, that is ours, and our children's now. Then whatsoever God hath said unto thee, do. So now they're returning to the land with him. They're not going to stay with their father, because to them he sold them like cattle for wages. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels, and he carried away all his cattle and all his goods which he had gotten, the cattle of his getting which he had gotten in Padanaram, for to go to Isaac his father in the land of Canaan. And Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images that were her father's. See, Laban had images. One of the I think a video that I seen uh, called Jacob. It was like a little mini Bible series where showed when Jacob went to Laban, he had these images in this cupboard, and they were supposed to be his gods, his pagan gods. And Rachel took them all and basically destroyed them. I imagine she eventually did, but she hid them in her tent in the story here. But I imagine she eventually broke them all and destroyed them all. don't know. And Jacob stole away unawares to Laban the Syrian, in that he told him not, that he fled. So he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face toward the Mount Gilead. And it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob was fled, and he took his brethren and with him and pursued after him 7 days' journey, and they overtook him in the Mount Gilead. And God came to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said unto him, Take heed that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. Then Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mount. Jacob, what hast thou done, that thou hast stolen away unawares to me, and carried away my daughters as captives taken with the sword? Wherefore didst thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and didst not tell me, that I might have sent thee away with myrrh and with songs, with tarbet and with harp, and hast not suffered me to kiss my sons and my daughters? Thou hast done foolishly in so doing. It is in the power of my hand to do you hurt. But the God of your father spake unto me yesternight, saying, take thou heed, that thou speak not to Jacob either good or bad. And now, though thou wouldest needs be gone, because thou sore longest after thy father's house, yet wherefore hast thou stolen my gods? And Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid, for I said, Peradventure thou wouldest take by force my daughters from me. With whomsoever thou findest thy gods, let him not live. Before our brethren, discern thou what is thine with me, and take it for thee. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and into Leah's tent, and into the midwives' tents, but he found them not. Then went he out of Leah's tent, and entered into Rachel's tent. And now Rachel had taken the images, and put them in the camel's furniture, and sat upon them. And Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said to her father, Let it not displease my lord, that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women was upon me. And he searched and found not the images. Now it means that she's probably pregnant with the next son that she's going to give birth to in Genesis 35, which is, she calls, his name is going to be Benjamin. And there's more information on this, the importance of Benjamin, but I'll get to that when we get to the birth of Benjamin. And verse 36, And Jacob was wroth and showed with Laban, and Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin, that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? Whereas thou hast searched my stuff, all my stuff, what hast thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. These 20 years have I been with thee. Thy ewes and thy she goats have not cast their young, and the rams of thy flocks have I not eaten. Now see, he served 7 years for Leah. He served 7 years to start with. He wanted Rachel. So 7 years, and he served another 7 years when he was deceived to get Rachel again, because he got Leah, and that's 14 years. Okay, and then Laban changed his wages, so that's also, he agreed to serve another 6 years for labor, so that's 20 years in total. So 20 years he's been with Laban, and been away from his family, from Esau, which we're going to see, which Esau is going to come to meet him here in the next few chapters. But we'll get more into that. We'll get more into that when we get to that chapter. That which was, verse 39. That which was torn of beast I brought not unto thee. I bear the loss of it of my hand, didst thou require it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. Thus I was in the day the drought consumed me, and the 4 frosts by night, and my sheep departed from mine eye, and my sleep departed from mine eyes. Thus I have been 20 years in thy house. I served thee 14 years for thy 2 daughters, and 6 years for thy cattle. And thou hast changed my wages 10 times. See, that's 20 years. Except the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the God of and the fear of Isaac had been with me. Surely thou hast sent me away now empty. God hath seen mine affliction, and the labor of my hands, and rebuked thee yesternight. And Laban answered and said unto Jacob, These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children. These cattle are my cattle, and all that thou seest is mine. And what can I do this day unto thee, my daughters, or unto their children which they have borne? Now therefore come thou, let us make a covenant, I and thou, and let it be for a witness between me and thee. And Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, Gather stones, and they took stones and made an heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jaglashitha. Some of these names are hard to pronounce. You have to forgive me on that, guys. But Jacob called it Gilead. And Laban said, This heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Gilead. And Mephibosheth, for he said, The Lord watch between me and thee when we are absent one from another. If thou shalt afflict my daughters, or if thou shalt take other wives beside my daughters, no man is with us. See, God is witness betwixt me and thee. And Laban said to Jacob, Behold this heap, and behold this pillar, which I have cast betwixt me and thee. This heap be a witness, and this pillar be a witness, that I will not pass over this heap to thee, and thou shalt not pass over this heap and this pillar unto me for harm. And God, the God of Abraham, and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judged betwixt us. And Jacob sware by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered sacrifice upon the mount, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they did eat bread, and tarried all night in the mount. And early in the morning Laban rose up and kissed his sons and his daughters, and blessed them. And Laban departed and returned unto his place. Now that's how it ended between Jacob and Laban. Now they set up a heat, saying that they're not going to pass that, like a marker, saying that they're not going to pass over this marker to each other. Jacob's going to continue on back to the land of Canaan, and Laban's going to go back to his home. But that's all I wanted to share with you guys out of Genesis for right now. Now turn with me over to the Gospel of Mark. We're going to read more about what happens in Mark. Mark chapter 3. I'll give you guys just a minute to get there. I'm currently there myself. And he entered again into the synagogue, and there was a man there which had a withered hand. And they watched him whether he would heal him on the Sabbath day, that they might accuse him. And he saith unto the man which had the withered hand, Stand forth. And he saith unto them, Is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath day, or to do evil, to save life, or to kill? But they held their peace. And when he had looked around about on them with anger, being grieved for the hardness of their hearts, he saith unto the man, Stretch forth thine hand. And he stretched it out, and his hand was restored whole as the other. And the Pharisees went forth, and straightway took counsel with the Herodians against him, how they might destroy him. See, the Herodians were another group of people. There were several groups of people in that day. There was proselytes, there was Pharisees, Sadducees, scribes. I forget the whole list of them. And this I've always said this before. Okay, the Sanhedrin, the Pharisees, the organized religion. It reveals this malevolence is revealed about them repeatedly throughout the Synoptic Gospels, and I think in the Gospel of John too, and also in the Book of Acts. You're going to see a lot of malevolent religion in the Book of Acts, especially in the persecution of the apostles. Verse 7. But Jesus withdrew himself with his disciples to the sea, and a great multitude from Galilee followed him, from Judea, and from Jerusalem, and from Idumea, and from beyond Jordan. And they about Tyre and Sidon, a great multitude, when they had heard what great things he did, came unto him. And he spake to his disciples that a small ship should wait on him because of the multitude, lest they should throng him. For he had healed many, insomuch that they pressed upon him for to touch him, as many as had plagues. And unclean spirits, when they saw him, fell down before him, and cried, saying, Thou art the Son of God. And he straitly charged them that they should not make him known. And he goeth up into a mountain, and calleth unto him whom he would, and they came unto him. And he ordained 12 that they should be with him, and that he might send them forth to preach, and to have power to heal sickness, and to cast out devils. And Simon he surnamed Peter, and James the son of Zebedee, and John the brother of James, and he surnamed them Boanerges, which is the sons of thunder. And the sons of Zebedee, James and John, were known as the sons of thunder, because according to the Gospel of Luke, I think it's in Luke chapter 9 or 10, I think it is, where they wanted to call fire down out of heaven and consume the Samaritans, just like Elijah. And Jesus told them, and said, you know not what manner of spirit you're of. That's why they're called the sons of thunder. And Andrew, and Philip, and Bartholomew, and Matthew, and Thomas, and James the son of Alphaeus, and Titus, Thaddeus, and Simon the Canaanite, and Judas Iscariot, or Iscariot, which also betrayed him. And they went into an house, and the multitude cometh together again, so that they could not so much as eat bread. And when his friends heard of it, they went out to lay hold on him, for they said, He is beside himself. And the scribes which came down from Jerusalem said, He hath Beelzebub, by the prince of devils casteth he out devils. And he called unto them, and said unto them in parables, How can Satan cast out Satan? If a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. No man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his goods. Verily I say unto you, all sins shall be forgiven unto the sons of men, and blasphemies, wherewithsoever they shall blaspheme. But he that shall blaspheme against the Holy Ghost hath never forgiveness, but is in danger of eternal damnation. And this is basically kind of like a repeat of what was said in Matthew chapter 12. I'm talking about the people call it the unpardonable sin. This is Mark's recount of it in his gospel, because they said he hath an unclean spirit, and basically they're saying that he cast out devils by the power of Satan. That's what they call Beelzebub. And there came then his brethren and his mother, and standing without sent unto him, calling him. And the multitude said about him, and they said unto him, Behold, thy mother and thy brethren without seek for thee. And he answered them, saying, Who is my mother or my brethren? And he looked round about on them which sat about him, and said, Behold, my mother and my brethren. For whosoever shall do the will of God, the same as my brother and my sister and mother. And there is the accounts written in Mark chapter 3. And that's all I wanted to share with you guys for right now. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video, and I hope this video has been very educational for you guys. I hope you guys do have a nice day and have a nice week, and hope to see you back again tomorrow night for more of our Bible reading of the day. And as always, I do suggest day is very much a life-changing experience. It changed my life, and I know that it will change yours as well. Thank you all, and I hope you all have a blessed day.